Greetings and salutations. It is I, Serene Sai, and I have to be completely honest. At the end of this recording, realized that I wasn't even recording anything. So, yay. So, what I'm going to attempt to do for the entirety of this video is I'm going to attempt to do some form of commentary. Now, what I am going to actually plan to do is I'm going to upload more or less the story parts and get the Pokédex stuff in the background, just like outside of doing video content. I would stream it, but I wouldn't even know where to begin with doing that with my Switch yet. So I'm gonna do with that. We're gonna start off this video with an evolution. This is another thing I'm going to do. As you'll see in the video, Shanks evolved into Luxia. And this was during just when I was playing passively outside of the video, and I realized that I should probably keep all evolutions until I record, that way everyone can see them. Because I gotta say, the evolutions have got to be one of the best thing in the game. I love the animation for it. It is just utterly dope. It just looks incredible. And honestly, I was just getting really used to the mechanics as far as like the moves and whatnot. So I was just trying to see who could learn what moves were good. And I was really liking how the squad shaped up until Paris. I love, I believe it's Venisect. I have not seen a Paris in so long. But I love Venisect, but Paris just kind of sucks. And in my personal opinion, any Pokemon that does not get any kind of like good attacking moves kind of stinks. That's why a lot of old Mons from like older generations, they were kind of unusable. Take Hoppip for instance. Hoppip didn't have a stab super effective move till I believe, even it evolved without a stab super effective move, I believe. I think it got Tackle. That was it. That was your only attacking moves. Also, this is all the Pokemon I caught. We got a Stantler, we got a Mime Jr., and a Baneri. Probably the only 3 Pokemon that I didn't expect to run into. And thanks to all this, we ranked up to rank number 2. And made a pretty sizable amount of cash. That's something I really like. We filled up several Pokédex pages, so now we just gotta work on the ones that people are asking for. And then we'll just have to see how things go. I'm at the level now where I think I can actually just like catch Pokemon anywhere, at least in the beginning area. But yeah, we reached rank 2, and now we're heading back. I'm really trying to not trail off because I gotta make sure that my commentary aligns with the video too. So yeah. But the story is going so far like this. We had just came fresh from discovering, I believe we just came fresh from discovering Cleaver's location, and now we plan on figuring out how we're gonna quell his anger. The kid that we fought, he had said something about throwing his favorite food or giving Cleaver his favorite food as an offering, but he can't even get close to the dang thing. So now we came back to Professor Levinton to see if there is any way that we could possibly get him to help us fix this whole Cleaver situation. Which, by the way, it's just so interesting to know that like there are actual Pokemon that people view as higher ups than the regular Pokemon. But this scene right here has got to be one of the most interesting scenes. He's just going around, and I called this when I was recording Eureka. Out of all the things that he could have said, he could have said I've got it. He says this, and then he's just like, we'll just throw the food. Now in my mind, I was just thinking, so for one, it took you that long to think of that, and for 2, why has no one else thought of that? Like, I felt like I was just watching Scooby-Doo. It's probably not the best example for that, but I mean, it's a damn good one. So yeah, our plan honestly was just to throw food at Cleaver, which kind of makes sense. That's kind of the whole plot of this game, is throwing stuff. And honestly, I couldn't really see any other way that we were going to do it. I was actually more interested to see what Cleaver looked like because I strayed really far away from spoilers. And I was really excited to see actually everything that transpired with Cleaver, but I'm gonna try and not to spoil it. So I know by now people probably do know, but this is where another thing comes into play. So for starters, I ranked up new Pokemon level 30. You need that. You need that rank up system. If you don't have it, Pokemon will just start disobeying you, and it's not fun. But another thing that I'm going to be doing is the missions. So there are a plethora of side missions you can do, sort of like Skyrim. And basically what I want to end up doing is, instead of like, if I come and run into one while I'm doing the story, sure, I'll knock it out of the park or I'll at least save it. But most missions I'm more or less just going to do passively in the background. That way they're done. Because they give you decent rewards. And I got the recipe for super potions here. Always nice. And I also want to point out, this is why I turned around, I did see Abra in the wild. That was some Pokemon that I did see. The issue is Abra teleported. And it's like, it's because they're so far away and they kind of they're not near grass. So I think I could sneak up on them if I tried, but it's just difficult. Also, that guy I just passed, make sure you talk to him. He increases how big your satchel is, and that is necessary. There are so many items that I can't pick up because I didn't increase that, so I gotta always make sure when I have enough money, I talk to him. But anyway, overall, this game, in my personal opinion, I can't remember if I said this in the video that's gonna be coming after this, but I personally think that this game is the definitive game for Sinnoh. Like, if I wanted to think about nostalgia and stuff like that, I hate to say Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, it was not awful, but there was so much that kind of made the game not really enjoyable. Like, put it this way, I don't feel any replay value because no matter what team I use, they're going to be over leveled. And it's because of the XP share. I can't really get mad at them for that, but at the same token, it's just like I just, there's no real replay value because for one, everyone knows that, I hope everyone knows, but they didn't really include all the Pokemon in the original. And while sure, the Grand Underground is probably the best addition to it, it just kind of sucks that even the Elite Four, some trainers literally, like for instance, Flint, the fire trainer, had 2 fire types on his team. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not fun. I think that was more or less what was upsetting me, was that some of the gym leaders and trainers, they were not having typing specific to their type. Also, Mai, this Mai right here, Mai on the screen, best girl. I don't care. I said this in another video. Her design, her hair, everything. This is probably my favorite designed female Pokemon character to date. And then this guy, he's just got a dope personality. Like, I like whenever he's on the screen, it's just awesome. This is the part where we finally get to I remember what I did. I remember now. Finally get to ride Weirdeer. Honestly, this is just really good if you're trying to get across and just explore where you are at. You just gotta make sure, because Pokemon, I don't believe they can attack you on Weirdeer. They probably can. But I mean, like, Weirdeer is kind of too fast for that, so it's just like, it's only if you let them, really. He gallops. He's not a slow Pokemon. It's not like they're just gonna be able to chase after you. And I think, like, even because, like, let me see. So we have Weasel, aggressive. Paris, I have no idea why Paris is aggressive. Like, out of all the Pokemon there, Paris is the aggressive one. Alright, Rumples run away from you. Paris is just like, I got hands, bro. Let me see him. Like, I felt like most of the first form bugs would be kind of afraid of you, with the exception to maybe like a Weedle, because Weedle can at least defend themselves. But like a Paris, they're not afraid. And obviously the ghost type Pokemon, they'd be more aggressive. I feel like one of them might be friendly, but who knows at this point. Also, that theme right there, I remember this is the Azure Flute theme from Diamond and Pearl. It's like, I can't remember when they played it at all. I just am a nerd who has the entire Diamond and Pearl soundtrack on my phone, because yeah, why not? So that's another thing I love about this game. There are so many hidden stuff in there. Like, for instance, when you rank up, that I believe is the same theme that you get at the beginning of Diamond and Pearl, like the opening. Like, when you just let your DS play the opening to the Diamond and Pearl games itself. And that's something that I really love. Like, I love when games do that. There's the Eternal Forest theme in here somewhere. I forget where. I think it's actually the location that we have to head to. There is just so much. And honestly, riding Weirdeer is pretty fun, to be honest. Like, again, it just makes it makes the map so much smaller. Like, since your character actually has I think they should at least give you a stamina bar, so you're just like, you're not running and you're just like, why did I get slower? And then you're like, oh, because it actually runs, I guess, as he has a stamina bar. When he's running, he slows down, and then if you hit the run button again, he slows down immediately because he needs to recover. But I don't think there's a stamina bar anymore. I may be wrong. Please let me know if I am. I don't like to be wrong. And I thought there was no fall damage if I was on weird. As you can see, it just let me kept falling, and then I died. I just say that was not one of my brightest moments, but I thought I would live. And then I lost all that 11 Pokeballs. You see that 11. I don't know why it punished me so harshly, and it hurt. It hurt. But we took a different route this time. Honestly, I think I might have been able to fast travel there, but I'm not completely sure, to be honest. I was just trying to experiment. And it looks like it went pretty well. Sort of, I died, so. But, I think another thing that I guess should be kind of implied, if the water is too deep, your character will just drown. Like, your character cannot swim, like, whatsoever. So if the water is too deep, your character will just drown. And here I got lost for some odd reason. I don't even know how I got over here, but I decided to maybe battle the Starly. I can't tell if I don't know what I was doing, to be honest. Those are not Starly, they're Staravia. I was just trying to, oh, I found my bearings again. I only remembered because I know there's B-Barrel over here. And for some reason, the B-Barrel on this side is calm. The B-Barrel on the other side, because he's I guess, a boss monster, he's angry. And those red eyes, they just make the Pokemon look terrifying. Even a B-Barrel. B-Barrel is not that terrifying a Pokemon, it's derpy looking. Reminds me of, there's another derpy looking Pokemon, I just can't think of its name. But alas, we finally made. Well, we struggled to make it. We're struggling a lot, very much so. But we finally make it back to Leon, I believe his name is. And there are just so many questions. I don't know what era this is supposed to be. Where this is supposed to be the era of like ninjas. If this is supposed to be the era of like, because there's kimonos here, so this is definitely an older era. Regardless, I do feel as though him wearing a cowboy hat makes him stand out. Kind of like that salesperson that we keep running into. I forget his name. I only remember certain characters' names, and that's Haruki, Irida. I honestly don't even remember the character that I like so much. It might be Irida. Look, I don't remember. No, that's Irida. I know I was right. Look, names aren't my forte when I'm playing an amazing video game. I just kind of just... If you have a text box, sure, you get a name and I remember you. Obviously, my Laventon. It'd be weird if I didn't remember the man who randomly decided to follow a kid that fell up the sky. But again, him wearing a cowboy hat just makes me question what exactly is the era, or is there even an era, or just like, do some people have different fashion sense? Because look what she's wearing. She's not wearing anything traditional. Also, she has a Glaceon. And honestly, I was really surprised to see that. I haven't even seen an Eevee yet, so it's just like, well, I don't know. So far, I do believe I've only seen Pokemon that like come around like that have been in the Sinnoh games. So technically, Eevee was, but it wasn't until later. So I might run into them later. But I feel like since Pokemon are starting to be like 20 and so, I should run into one soon. And of course, I made the executive decision to bring out Ponyta. I actually wanted Oshawott, but Dewott, I forgot. It's Dewott. What is that Glaceon doing? I didn't even notice that when I was playing. It was tripping. But there's got to be another favorite part of mine, like where you actually just feel immersed in the battle, because you know you get to see your Pokemon from the sidelines, and you get to move around freely. This has to be one of my favorite parts. And then I just walked up to Irida and decided to taunt her because I was just like, why not? But this is just such a different take, and as I keep saying, this just shows the future of Pokemon. What could be next after this? What could Gen 9 hold for us? Because again, if they do all of this, and then Gen 9 includes literally nothing from here, it's going to be such a letdown. And there are gaming companies, I'm sure, that have done this in the past, where they release an amazing game, and then the next game doesn't even have half the stuff that their game that they released has. And it lets a lot of people down. And yes, I'm not a game developer. I'm not a coder. I know coding is a very long and egregious process, but I think everyone should at least put a little bit of passion into it for the amount of people that have passion for the game that they're playing, you know? But at the very least, we finally get to the part where I lost my train of thought. Where we find and see Cleaver. There we go. And these are the things we're going to be throwing at him. I'm just very glad that I believe we had an infinite amount of these. I honestly thought it was going to be limited. So I was like, so my shots count. So I got to be very, very careful not to miss. Because if I miss, it's going to be detrimental and I'm not going to be a happy person. Okay, you guys just heard that knock. I apologize. My leg twitched. And this again is just so interesting. Like, I can't even begin to describe it. Like, Pokemon, again, are just being worshipped as higher beings. Because, for instance, they're assumingly Arceus is Almighty Sinnoh. They're kind of treating him as, you know, as everyone does the meme. Oh my Arceus. You know, treating Arceus as the god of Pokemon. Which I guess technically he is. But, you know, so interesting to see things in this kind of light. And there he is, the raid boss himself. Probably the reason we learned the move Cut. I honestly thought this was Bisharp as a Hisuian, just because of the legs. But this thing is monstrous, to be honest. It has a dope design, but it just looks terrifying. If I ran into something like this, no. Apparently, this is something that we can do all the time, and this is pretty dope. But as you can see, we have infinite. I wasn't paying attention. I was just like, okay, do we have enough? And I think I found out his typing. I believe he's Bug Rock, which I only think that because, for starters, that attack pattern was crazy. And I wasn't paying attention to the fact that he gets dizzy when he ran into the wall, so I was just having fun spamming. And he just has these weird movements, but in contrast, he's not that much taller than me, to be honest. Like, he looks tall, but he is not really. And I don't know, this boss fight was just so weird and unique, especially from a Pokemon game. And I just wasn't expecting it in the slightest. It threw me for a loop, but I mean, the boss fight overall was kind of underwhelming. It got better when I realized I wasn't doing damage here, so I was just like, alright, when he gets dizzy, I'll throw out a Pokeball. I threw out Drift Beam. This has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. He used Stealth Rock and it hit me. I was just confused. Like, I couldn't even wrap my head around it. Drifloon was just doing basic. Can't even really do too much. And this is when I realized what his typing was. So I used Aqua Jet. And I don't know what double hit exactly does. It doesn't mean the next hit. But again, I do believe he's Bug Rock because this was super effective to him, and I do believe he knew a Bug type. Well, he knew Stealth Rock, so I did know he was a Rock type. Whether or not he was a Bug type or not was just I don't know. I think I'm just randomly speculating. So I know that's what I said when I was recording the video. But I honestly wonder if I can catch these. Like, well, probably not, because you'd have been died. And I love how I won, but he still decided to hit me. Bam! Look at that animation. Look at that shot. I think my favorite parts was just the dodging aspect. This was such a cool and unique cutscene that I hope you guys enjoy, because, you know, it would have been so much better. And honestly, Pokemon looks kind of dope, but how does it actually eat? Does it just bend over and just start eating? It has no hands. I know there are probably a plethora of Pokemon that don't have hands, but at least they have something to compensate. He literally has gigantic knives. And then we get the insect plates. They've been giving us plates. I keep forgetting to mention them. Like, and one thing that I do remember is that Arceus types change when he's given a plate. So does that mean that we might be catching an Arceus at some point? I'm not entirely sure. However, I do really enjoy it, and I do believe this is probably around the time that I looked at my computer and realized that I was no longer recording, and it sucked. But at this point, we did gain the Pearl Clan's trust because we were able to quell their monster, Pokemon, you know? So we have their trust, and now I do believe I technically, I guess we have the Diamonds Clan trust. I believe the leader does trust us because we've done at least 2 things for him. So at the very least, he trusts us, and she's just now trusting us. So at the very least, we have, I assume we have both of their trust. And this story is only just getting started. This was only one of the divine beasts. I want to say that's what they are. We still have, like, I don't know how many others, but I do know that Pearl, the Diamond Clan, has one as well, because they were worried that the same thing might happen to them. So honestly, we just have to see where things go from there. But I must say, the amount of callbacks to Gen 4, the amount of stuff, like, this game just makes me feel nostalgic for Gen 4. Like, I can't really say the same. Like, what made me feel nostalgic in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, honestly, was the music. Like, honestly. I have been playing ROMs of Gen 4, and I felt nostalgic listening to the music there, but I also felt nostalgic actually playing the game, specifically Platinum, of course, but you get the idea. Brilliant Shining and Diamond Pearl just, they're not doing like as good as this one. And I will always remember when I went to the store to get the game, Pearl was not being sold. But this is about the end of the video, so I apologize for the whole commentary thing. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.